Friends, welcome back to PageWise. Today, we're diving into the summary of one of the most powerful and timeless self-help books ever written, The Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz. First published in 1959, this classic has inspired millions across the globe and continues to be just as relevant today as it was over 6 decades ago. And the reason is simple. The ideas in this book aren't just motivational. They're practical, actionable, and truly life-changing. At the heart of Schwartz's book is one game-changing idea. To achieve success, you must first learn to think big. Most people unknowingly hold themselves back with small thinking, self-doubt, and endless excuses, achieving far less than they're truly capable of. But here's the secret. When you expand your thinking, embrace bigger possibilities, and start believing in yourself, everything changes. Your goals grow, your actions become bolder, and your results become extraordinary. Schwartz reminds us that success isn't reserved for the most talented, smartest, or luckiest people. The real difference lies in mindset and belief. When you genuinely believe you can achieve something great, your brain naturally starts finding solutions, opportunities, and pathways to make it happen. But if you doubt yourself, even the most favorable circumstances won't help. You'll end up limiting your own potential. This book is your step-by-step guide to cultivating a confident, ambitious, and action-oriented mindset. It shows you how to replace negative thoughts with empowering ones, how to eliminate excuses, and how to develop the attitude, habits, and environment that attract success. According to Schwartz, the keys to a successful life aren't luck or talent. They are self-belief, a positive mindset, the right environment, and consistent action. With 13 practical chapters, each packed with lessons, strategies, and examples, The Magic of Thinking Big teaches you how to think bigger, build confidence, learn from failures, and take deliberate action to achieve your life goals. In this video, we'll break it down chapter by chapter, uncovering the timeless wisdom and actionable tools David Schwartz shares. By the end, you'll know exactly how to upgrade your mindset, unlock your hidden potential, and move closer to extraordinary success. So, get ready to think bigger, aim higher, and transform your life. Let's dive into the magic of thinking big. Chapter 1. Believe you can succeed, and you will. David J. Schwartz opens the very first chapter with a truth so simple yet so powerful that it can transform your entire life. The first and greatest secret of success is this: believe you can succeed, and you will. Think about it. Every achievement in human history began as a belief. The belief that something was possible. The Wright brothers believed humans could fly. Steve Jobs believed technology could be beautiful and simple. Great leaders, entrepreneurs, and creators all had one thing in common. They genuinely believed they could make things happen. Schwartz explains that the difference between successful and unsuccessful people is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It's their belief system. Success gravitates towards a person who truly believes in their ability to achieve big goals. When you believe in yourself, your brain automatically starts searching for solutions, strategies, and ideas. But when you doubt yourself, your brain shifts into excuse-making mode, finding reasons why things cannot be done. He compares belief to a mind power switch. When this switch is on, your creativity flows, your energy multiplies, and your determination becomes unstoppable. But when the switch is OFF, everything inside you weakens. Instead of moving forward, you hesitate, procrastinate, and eventually give up. In this chapter, Schwartz also highlights 3 ways successful people apply belief in their lives. They believe their future is big. This belief gives them a clear, ambitious vision that drives them forward. They don't settle for small goals because they see possibilities others don't. They believe they can find solutions. No matter how tough the problem, they trust in their ability to figure it out. This confidence keeps them resourceful, persistent, and open to opportunities. They believe they can create unique value. This belief sets them apart from the crowd. Instead of copying others, they innovate, take risks, and build confidence that attracts success. Schwartz also gives a practical exercise. Feed your mind with positive affirmations. Repeat statements like, "I can do it. I deserve success. I am capable of achieving great things." This kind of self-talk gradually reprograms your subconscious mind, strengthens your confidence, and pushes you toward the right actions. The ultimate lesson of Chapter 1 is crystal clear. Believe in success, and you create success. Believe in failure, and you create failure. Your beliefs shape your actions, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. The size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. Start believing big. Trust yourself. Switch on that belief power in your mind, and you'll be amazed at how opportunities, ideas, and results begin to align in your favor. Chapter 2. Cure yourself of excusitis, the failure disease. In this chapter, David J. Schwartz introduces us to what he calls one of the deadliest diseases of failure, excusitis. It may not appear in any medical book, but it is just as dangerous as any real illness because it quietly kills dreams, ambitions, and opportunities. Excusitis is a habit of making excuses, of justifying why we can't, instead of focusing on how we can. Schwartz makes it clear. The biggest difference between average people and extraordinary achievers is not intelligence, not skill, and not opportunity. It's whether they allow excuses to dominate their thinking. Successful people find a way forward, while unsuccessful people find an excuse to stay stuck. According to Schwartz, excusitis shows up most commonly in 4 forms: health, intelligence, age, and luck. Health excuses. Many people say, I can't do this because my health isn't good. But the truth is, countless successful people have achieved greatness despite physical challenges. Franklin D. Roosevelt led a nation from a wheelchair. Stephen Hawking made groundbreaking discoveries while battling ALS. These people didn't let health be an excuse. They turned it into motivation. Your health condition doesn't define your success. Your mindset does. Intelligence excuses. Another common excuse is, I'm just not smart enough. But success doesn't depend on IQ. It depends on attitude, persistence, and creativity. The world is filled with highly intelligent people who never achieve much because they lack belief, action, and discipline. On the other hand, ordinary people with average intelligence often succeed because they keep learning, experimenting, and moving forward. Age excuses. How many times have you heard someone say, I'm too young or I'm too old for this? Schwartz reminds us that age is never a true limitation. Colonel Sanders started KFC at 65. Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook in his 20s. Success doesn't care about age. The best time to start is always now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. Luck excuses. Perhaps the most dangerous excuse is blaming everything on luck. People say, I wasn't lucky enough. I didn't get the right break. But luck, Schwartz argues, isn't random. It favors those who prepare, take action, and grab opportunities. The more effort you put in, the luckier you become. The problem with excuses is that they lock your mind inside a comfort zone. Once you accept an excuse, your brain stops looking for possibilities. Instead of searching for solutions, it finds reasons to stay average. But the moment you stop making excuses, your brain shifts gears. It starts asking, how can I make this possible? And suddenly, doors begin to open. The big message of this chapter is clear. If you want success, you must develop an excuse-free mindset. Stop telling yourself why it can't be done and start training your brain to find ways to make it happen. Replace excuses with determination. Instead of saying, I can't because, start saying, I will, and I'll find a way to make it work. Excuses are the language of failure. Belief, action, and persistence are the language of success. The day you stop making excuses is the day you start moving toward extraordinary achievement. Chapter 3. Build confidence and destroy fear. David J. Schwartz begins this chapter with a universal truth. Every person experiences fear, but the difference is that some people are defeated by it while others overcome it and become confident. Fear, he explains, is the greatest mental barrier that stops us from seizing opportunities and moving forward in life. Fear never disappears on its own. The only way to destroy it is through action. Schwartz compares the relationship between confidence and fear to light and darkness. Wherever confidence exists, fear vanishes. But when fear dominates, confidence weakens. The key to building confidence, therefore, is to take small, consistent steps of action. Every time you act despite fear, your brain gets a signal that, yes, I can do this, which gradually strengthens your confidence. The author also provides several practical strategies to build confidence. First, through positive thinking and self-talk. Replace negative thoughts immediately with affirmations like, I am capable, I am smart, and I can do this. Second, by interacting with people confidently. Much of our fear comes from worrying about others' judgments. By learning to speak openly, maintain positive body language, and smile, you improve your self-image and boost confidence. Third, through preparation and knowledge. Many fears arise simply from being unprepared. When you prepare thoroughly for meetings, presentations, or exams, your confidence naturally increases. Fourth, by reframing failure. Fear often stems from the possibility of failing, but Schwartz emphasizes that failure is not the end. It's a stepping stone to success. The more you fail, the faster you learn and progress toward your goals. The core lesson of this chapter is clear. Fear cannot be avoided. It must be faced. Confidence doesn't appear magically. It is built gradually through action, practice, and persistence. Chapter 4. How to Think Big. David J. Schwartz opens this chapter with an inspiring idea. The way you think determines the level of your life. Small thinking brings small achievements, while big thinking leads to extraordinary success. He emphasizes that most people fail not because they lack skills or opportunities, but because they think too small. True success begins with learning to think big. The first step to thinking big is to change your language and vocabulary. The words you use shape the direction of your mind. For example, when someone says, "This is impossible," a big thinker reframes it as, "How can this be possible?" By using words that reflect possibilities and vision, your brain automatically starts searching for solutions. The second principle is to expand your imagination. Don't settle for small goals. Ask yourself, if I weren't afraid of failure, what would I really want to achieve? Only when you remove fear from your dreams can you discover your true potential. Big thinking fuels a bigger vision and attracts bigger opportunities into your life. Third, Schwartz stresses the importance of choosing your environment wisely. If you constantly surround yourself with small-minded, negative people, your own thinking will shrink. But if you associate with ambitious, visionary people, your mindset expands. He encourages us to go first class, meaning to create an environment that supports and uplifts our dreams. Fourth, develop a bigger self-image. The way you see yourself directly influences your results. If you see yourself as average, your actions and outcomes will also be average. But if you believe you are extraordinary, your thoughts, actions, and opportunities will align with that belief. The central message of this chapter is powerful. The level of your thinking determines the level of your life. When you learn to think big, your dreams, goals, and achievements naturally grow bigger. Chapter 5. How to Think and Dream Creatively. In this chapter, David J. Schwartz explains that success is not just a result of hard work. It also depends on how creatively you can think and how many new possibilities you can create. Average people stop when they face problems, treating them as the end of the road. But successful people see problems as the starting point of new ideas and opportunities. Creativity is not limited to artists or inventors. Every person can bring creativity into their job, business, relationships, and daily life. The first key to creative thinking is to eliminate the phrase, "It's not possible." Instead, train your mind to ask, "How can this be possible?" This simple shift forces your brain to generate solutions and fresh ideas. Negative thinking shuts the mind down, but positive and open thinking allows it to explore limitless directions. The second strategy is to view every problem as an opportunity. Whenever a challenge appears, immediately ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this into a chance for growth? This mindset is what sets creative people apart from others. They don't stop at obstacles. They use them as stepping stones to progress. Schwartz also highlights the importance of listening and observing. By paying attention to people and carefully observing your environment, you can discover countless new ideas and inspirations. Successful people remain curious, always asking questions, always learning, and constantly looking for better ways to do things. Another powerful principle is to dream big. Big dreams inspire big creative solutions. If your goals are small, your mind will stay confined to small ideas. But when you set bold and ambitious goals, your brain is naturally pushed to create innovative and extraordinary solutions. The ultimate message of this chapter is clear. Creativity is not a luxury. It is a necessity for success. Those who think creatively and dare to dream transform ordinary situations into extraordinary results. Chapter 6. You Are What You Think You Are. David J. Schwartz opens this chapter with a deep and powerful insight. Other people see you exactly the way you see yourself. In other words, your self-image is a lens through which the world views you, treats you, and evaluates your worth. If you see yourself as ordinary, weak, or incapable, your actions will reflect that belief, and people will treat you accordingly. But if you see yourself as capable, confident, and valuable, your personality will radiate those qualities, and others will naturally respond with respect and admiration. Schwartz explains that each of us carries an invisible mirror in our minds. This mirror reflects the way we see ourselves, and that reflection becomes a picture others see too. Self-respect and self-belief directly shape our confidence, our performance, and even the opportunities we attract. For example, imagine a businessman who thinks of himself as just an average salesman. His tone, body language, and energy will communicate mediocrity, and customers will treat him lightly. But if the same businessman believes he is an expert problem solver who adds real value, he will project authority and confidence, and his clients will treat him as a trusted professional. So how do we improve the self-image? Schwartz offers practical, actionable steps to elevate how we see ourselves. Upgrade your appearance and presentation. When you look sharp, clean, and professional, you don't just influence others. You influence your own mindset. Dressing well and carrying yourself with confidence trains your brain to think, I am important, I matter, and I am capable. Value your work. No matter what your profession is, convince yourself that what you do has significance and impact. Tell yourself, my work is valuable. My contribution improves lives. The more you respect your own work, the more seriously others will respect it too. Practice positive self-talk. Our minds are shaped by the words we repeat to ourselves. Negative labels such as I'm unlucky, I'm not smart, or I'm just average quietly poison subconscious and trap us in mediocrity. Replace them with empowering affirmations like, I am capable, I am valuable, I am built for extraordinary achievements. These affirmations slowly reprogram your subconscious and lift your self-image. Carry yourself with dignity. The way you walk, talk, and interact with people signals how you see yourself. When you speak with clarity, hold your head high, and smile with confidence, you silently communicate that you respect yourself, and others, in turn, will respect you. The core lesson of this chapter is crystal clear. Your self-image shapes your destiny. The size of your achievements will never be larger than the size of your self-image. When you think big about yourself, when you choose to see yourself as a person of worth and ability, your thoughts expand, your actions grow stronger, and bigger opportunities naturally flow toward you. In simple terms, if you want others to believe in you, you must first believe in yourself. Chapter 7. Manage your environment. Go first class. David J. Schwartz begins this chapter with a powerful reminder. Your environment shapes your destiny. The people you spend time with, the places you surround yourself with, and even the standards you set for your lifestyle all play a huge role in determining how you think, how you act, and ultimately, how successful you become. Too often, people underestimate this truth. They don't realize how deeply their surroundings influence their attitude, their confidence, and their ambitions. Schwartz points out that an average environment breeds average thinking. If you constantly spend time with negative, complaining, and unmotivated people, you will gradually start to adopt their mindset. Your ambitions shrink, your energy drains, and you unconsciously accept mediocrity as normal. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with positive, ambitious, and success-driven people, their energy will rub off on you. Their words, ideas, and habits will inspire you to think bigger, act with confidence, and chase goals you might not have considered possible. The author stresses that successful people always choose to operate with high standards. Their mindset is simple. Go first class. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean living a life of luxury or spending money recklessly. It means intentionally choosing quality over mediocrity in your environment, your relationships, and your habits. If you are constantly in the company of those who aim higher, challenge themselves, and believe in excellence, you will naturally raise your own standards. Schwartz explains that this principle applies both to your social environment and your physical environment. In your social environment, Make it a point to spend time with people who are growth-oriented, optimistic, and supportive. When you network with such individuals, you gain new perspectives, access new opportunities, and push yourself to level up. In contrast, if you spend your time with those who are stagnant, people who only complain, gossip, or resist change, you'll find your own vision becoming limited and stagnant too. In your physical environment, the quality of your surroundings influences your productivity, energy, and mindset. A clean, organized, and inspiring workspace fuels clarity and creativity, while a cluttered, dull, or messy environment drains motivation. Schwartz encourages investing in tools, spaces, and surroundings that uplift you. Even small changes like organizing your desk, adding motivating visuals, or creating a peaceful environment can have a massive effect on your mindset. Another key idea Schwartz emphasizes is that when you choose to go first class, you signal to your subconscious mind that you value yourself and your goals. For example, if you're traveling, choose the best possible option you can reasonably afford, not to show off, but to remind yourself that you deserve quality experiences. This habit builds a strong mental connection between excellence and your self-image. Over time, your subconscious begins to expect high-level outcomes, and your actions align with that expectation. The heart of this chapter is simple but life-changing. You become the product of your environment. If you want extraordinary results, you cannot afford to live in an ordinary environment. Surround yourself with excellence, both in people and in places, and gradually remove negative influences that hold you back. By upgrading your environment, you automatically upgrade your thoughts, your actions, and your destiny. In short, Schwartz urges us to adopt this principle. Choose excellence in everything: your companions, your workspace, your mindset. Go first class, because your environment is the silent architect of your success. Chapter 8. Make your attitude your allies. David J. Schwartz begins this chapter with a timeless truth. The single greatest difference between success and failure is attitude. Skills, intelligence, and resources are all important. But it is your outlook, the way you choose to see situations, people, and yourself, that ultimately determines your destiny. He explains that attitude is not just about your mood or temporary feelings. It is a powerful mental filter that shapes how you interpret reality, how you behave, and the quality of decisions you make. A positive, proactive attitude can accelerate your progress, opening doors, opportunities, and solutions that others cannot see. On the other hand, a negative, defeatist attitude can trap you in fear, excuses, and stagnation, turning even small challenges into overwhelming obstacles. Schwartz stresses that the true power of attitude lies in how it influences your reactions to challenges. Life will never be free from difficulties, but the way you respond makes all the difference. Two people may face the same setback. One reacts with optimism and persistence, asking, "What can I learn? How do I solve this?" and turns the setback into a stepping stone. The other reacts with negativity, blame, or self-pity, and the setback becomes a roadblock. This contrast highlights why attitude is the ultimate ally or enemy in the pursuit of success. Another key insight Schwartz shares is that attitudes are not random. They are habitual. Over time, the way we think and react becomes automatic, deeply wired into our subconscious. But just like any habit, attitudes can be reshaped. It takes conscious effort, daily practice, and repeated self-awareness to build attitudes that serve you rather than sabotage you. To help us make our attitudes our allies, Schwartz provides several practical strategies. Adopt a can-do mindset. Train yourself to replace doubt and hesitation with confidence and determination. When faced with challenges, don't ask, "Can I do this?" Instead, ask, "How can I do this?" This simple shift turns your brain into a problem-solving machine. Practice gratitude and appreciation. People who consistently find reasons to be thankful, whether for opportunities, relationships, or even small daily blessings, develop mental strength and resilience. Gratitude keeps you focused on possibilities instead of limitations. Be proactive rather than reactive. Don't waste time complaining about problems or making excuses. Channel your energy into finding solutions and taking action. Proactive attitudes attract progress, while reactive attitudes keep you stuck in the same cycle. Choose enthusiasm deliberately. Schwartz points out that enthusiasm is contagious. If you bring excitement and positive energy to your work, conversations, and goals, others will feel uplifted and motivated too. The same is true in reverse. Negativity also spreads quickly. That's why guarding your attitude is not just for your benefit, but also for the people around you. Perhaps the most powerful lesson of this chapter is that your attitude becomes your identity. Over time, if you consistently think positively, act confidently, and focus on growth, people will come to see you as someone capable, reliable, and inspiring. Conversely, if you cling to a negative mindset, you risk being labeled as someone difficult, pessimistic, or incapable. Schwartz's advice is clear. Treat your attitude like your closest friend and strongest ally. Nurture it, protect it, and keep it aligned with optimism, enthusiasm, and resilience. When your attitude is on your side, you'll find that you perform at your best, influence others positively, and handle life's challenges with courage and clarity. The core message of this chapter is simple but transformative. Success begins with your attitude. Make it your ally, and it will take you further than talent, intelligence, or luck ever could. Chapter 9. Think Right Toward People. David J. Schwartz begins this chapter by emphasizing a truth often overlooked. Your success in life is deeply influenced by the way you think about and treat other people. Whether in business, career, or personal relationships, the ability to connect positively with others determines not only opportunities, but also your reputation, influence, and long-term success. People naturally gravitate toward those who see the best in them. Treat them with respect and maintain a positive and encouraging attitude. When Schwartz says think right toward people, he is urging readers to adopt a mindset of respect, understanding, and appreciation. It's about seeing people's strengths rather than dwelling on their weaknesses, and valuing their contributions rather than criticizing their shortcomings. This approach not only strengthens relationships, but also positions you as a natural leader. Those who consistently focus on others' positives are more likely to inspire loyalty, cooperation, and admiration. In contrast, people who constantly judge, criticize, or find fault tend to push others away and miss countless opportunities for collaboration and growth. Schwartz points out that your attitude toward others directly affects their behavior toward you. When you genuinely respect and value people, they respond positively, creating a cycle of trust and cooperation. Conversely, if your thoughts and actions are dominated by envy, judgment, or negativity, you unintentionally limit your influence and repel opportunities. To help readers cultivate the habit of thinking right toward people, Schwartz provides several practical strategies. Show genuine interest and respect. Listen attentively, ask meaningful questions, and acknowledge the value of others' thoughts and contributions. When people feel truly heard and appreciated, they are more likely to support you, collaborate with you, and view you as trustworthy and reliable. Avoid unnecessary criticism. It's easy to focus on others' mistakes or shortcomings, but constant criticism breeds resentment and damages relationships. Instead, address concerns constructively and focus on solutions, not blame. By doing so, you maintain respect while encouraging growth and improvement. Celebrate other successes. Envy and jealousy are destructive forces that weaken your network and personal growth. In contrast, supporting and encouraging others strengthens bonds, builds goodwill, and fosters a positive environment in which everyone can thrive. Practice positive assumptions. Schwartz advises assuming that most people have good intentions and valuable skills. When you start interactions with trust and optimism, you create rapport, reduce conflict, and naturally influence others in a positive direction. Schwartz also highlights a subtle but powerful truth. You are, to some extent, what other people think of you. Your reputation, influence, and leadership potential are largely determined by how you treat those around you. A person who consistently demonstrates respect, encouragement, and positivity will attract opportunities, allies, and mentors, whereas someone with a critical, suspicious, or negative attitude will face resistance and isolation. The chapter underscores that thinking right toward people is not just a social nicety. It is a strategic success tool. Building strong, positive relationships creates a network of support, opens doors to new possibilities, and positions you as someone others naturally want to work with or follow. By cultivating respect, positivity, and encouragement in your interactions, you not only strengthen your personal and professional relationships, but also lay a solid foundation for lasting success. The core message of this chapter is simple but transformative. Your mindset toward people shapes your influence, your relationships, and ultimately your success. Think right, act right, and watch both your personal and professional life flourish. Chapter 10. Get the Action Habit. David J. Schwartz opens his chapter with a powerful insight. Thinking and planning alone will never lead to success. Action is a true engine that drives results. Many people dream big, generate great ideas, and create elaborate plans, but their dreams remain unfulfilled because they fail to implement those plans. The difference between average individuals and truly successful people lies in one simple habit: the habit of taking immediate and consistent action. Schwartz emphasizes that procrastination and indecision are among the biggest obstacles to achievement. When you delay action, opportunities slip away, sometimes forever. The solution is simple but often overlooked. Do it now, do it today, and do it decisively. Even small steps, when taken consistently, accumulate into remarkable outcomes. Developing the action habit means stepping out of your comfort zone, adopting a results-oriented mindset, and committing to constant forward momentum. The author identifies several practical strategies to help cultivate this habit. Implement ideas immediately. An idea left on paper or stuck in your mind has no value until it is acted upon. Every moment spent overthinking is a moment lost. Schwartz encourages readers to bridge the gap between thinking and doing by taking the first step as soon as possible. Use action to overcome fear and doubt. Fear, hesitation, and self-doubt often paralyze people. The antidote is simple: action. When you act, fear diminishes naturally, confidence grows, and momentum builds. Each completed step reinforces a belief that you are capable, creating a positive feedback loop that fuels further action. Accept mistakes and learn quickly. Action does not mean perfection. In fact, those who hesitate in search of flawless execution often achieve nothing. Successful people embrace failures as learning opportunities, adjusting their course, and moving forward faster than those who wait for ideal conditions. Mistakes are not setbacks, they are essential tools for growth. Develop decisiveness. Habitual indecision is a silent killer of success. Leaders are distinguished not just by their ideas, but by their ability to make firm decisions and act on them. Schwartz underscores that decisiveness creates clarity, eliminates wasted energy, and inspires confidence in others. Build continuous action into daily life. Action should become a habitual part of your routine, not a sporadic event. Even small, consistent actions compound over time, producing extraordinary results. This habit transforms average individuals into high achievers, as consistent momentum eventually surpasses talent or intelligence alone. Schwartz also highlights a subtle truth. Leaders are doers. Those who lead successfully are not just planners or thinkers. They take action and inspire others to follow suit. Their example creates an environment where momentum thrives, encouraging teams and organizations to accomplish goals that would be impossible for passive participants. Ultimately, the chapter stresses that habitual action is the real motor of success. While planning and thinking are important, they are powerless without execution. The mindset of action first, worry later, ensures that opportunities are seized, fears are conquered, and goals are realized. By making decisive action a daily habit, anyone can transform their ideas into tangible achievements and move from ordinary to extraordinary. Core message: success is born not from ideas alone, but from action. Develop the habit of acting promptly, consistently, and decisively, and your dreams will start turning into reality. The more you act, the more confident, capable, and unstoppable you become. Chapter 11. How to Turn Defeat into Victory. David J. Schwartz begins this chapter with a powerful truth. True success belongs to those who do not fear failure, but instead view setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. Every person, no matter how skilled or ambitious, will face defeat at some point in life. The critical difference lies not in the defeat itself, but in how you perceive and respond to it. Schwartz emphasizes that mindset is the ultimate determining factor. Viewing failure as a personal catastrophe or assigning blame to circumstances leads only to stagnation. However, when you perceive defeat as a temporary setback or a stepping stone, your mind naturally becomes solution-focused. The first step is self-talk. This situation will make me stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the future. This simple reframing shifts your focus from loss to opportunity. The author explains that every failure contains hidden lessons. Each mistake, each setback, holds insights that can inform your next strategy. Instead of feeling discouraged or defeated, analyze what went wrong and how you can adapt. This proactive approach transforms negative experiences into building blocks for future victories. Schwartz offers practical strategies to turn defeat into success. Analyze and reevaluate. Carefully examine where things went wrong. Was a flaw in planning, execution, or mindset? Identifying a root cause prevents repeated mistakes and strengthens your problem-solving skills. Adapt your goals and methods. Sometimes, defeat signals that a different approach is necessary. Flexibility is essential. Adjusting your strategy or redefining your steps is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of wisdom and resilience. Maintain a positive attitude. Your emotional response to failure determines how quickly you recover. Cultivating optimism and maintaining belief in your abilities ensures you stay motivated and proactive even after setbacks. Seek feedback and mentorship. Constructive guidance from others accelerates learning. A mentor or supportive colleague can provide perspective, point out blind spots, and help refine your approach for the next attempt. Schwartz contrasts champions with ordinary individuals, highlighting a key distinction. Champions treat failures as opportunities, while average people see them as insurmountable obstacles. Champions immediately act after a setback, problem-solve creatively, and persist with resilience. They do not allow temporary defeat to define their self-worth or trajectory. Another important lesson is that resilience and continuous learning go hand in hand. Victory is rarely instant. It is the accumulation of lessons learned from past failures combined with consistent effort and a positive mindset. Those who embrace this approach find that even their most challenging defeats can eventually contribute to extraordinary achievements. Schwartz also stresses that failure is never permanent unless you allow it to be. With the right mindset, analytical thinking, adaptability, and proactive action, anyone can transform a temporary loss into a foundation for future success. In essence, defeat is not the opposite of victory. It is an essential part of the journey toward it. Core message: failure is temporary, but your response determines your future. By analyzing setbacks, adapting strategies, maintaining positivity, and taking decisive action, every defeat can become a stepping stone to victory. Success is not about avoiding failure. It is about learning from it, growing through it, and turning it into unstoppable momentum. Chapter 12. Use goals to help you grow. David J. Schwartz begins this chapter by emphasizing a fundamental truth. Growth and success cannot happen without clear, well-defined goals. Goals act as a compass, giving direction to your efforts and focus to your energy. Without them, even the most talented and hard-working individuals can drift aimlessly, wasting time and resources. The author makes it clear that goals are not just about achieving results. They are powerful tools for personal development, learning, and long-term progress. Schwartz explains that the first step in goal setting is to create specific and realistic goals. Ambition is essential, but it must be paired with a practical roadmap. Breaking larger goals into achievable steps allows you to track progress and celebrate small wins along the way. These small victories build confidence, reinforce motivation, and create momentum, helping you stay committed even when challenges arise. Another critical advantage of goal setting is clarity of priorities. When you know exactly what you want to achieve, you can allocate your time, energy, and resources efficiently. Instead of getting caught up in trivial tasks, your focus stays on actions that drive meaningful progress. This strategic alignment between your daily actions and long-term objectives transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Schwartz shares several practical strategies to maximize the power of goals. Integrate goals into daily and weekly planning. Aligning your everyday actions with your bigger goals keeps your mind focused and productive. When your daily efforts directly support your larger objectives, productivity becomes intentional rather than accidental. Maintain flexibility. Goals are important, but circumstances can change. Being adaptable allows you to adjust your strategies while still staying committed to your ultimate vision. This balance between commitment and flexibility is what separates persistent achievers from those who give up at the first obstacle. Use visual reminders and affirmations. Writing down your goals, placing them where you can see them, or repeating daily affirmations helps program your subconscious mind. When your mind is constantly reminded of your objectives, it naturally seeks ways to achieve them, creating an internal drive toward action. Schwartz also highlights that goals are not limited to professional or financial achievements. True growth comes from setting objectives for personal development, skills acquisition, and character building. People who regularly revisit and refine their goals stay in a continuous learning mode, constantly pushing their limits and realizing their full potential. The chapter concludes with powerful insight. Goal setting is more than a tool for accomplishment. It is a mechanism for focused growth and purposeful action. Properly defined goals turn scattered efforts into a cohesive strategy, helping you progress from ordinary to extraordinary. When you use goals as a guiding framework, every step you take becomes meaningful, and every action contributes directly to the life you want to create. Core message: goals are not just milestones, they're engines for growth. By defining them clearly, breaking them into actionable steps, and aligning your daily actions with them, you unlock your full potential and set yourself on the path to extraordinary success. Chapter 13: How to Think Like a Leader. David J. Schwartz opens this chapter by emphasizing profound truth. Leadership is not defined by your title, position, or authority. It is defined by how you think, act, and make decisions. A true leader is someone who sees beyond immediate challenges, maintains a bold vision, and inspires growth not only in themselves but also in those around them. Leadership, Schwartz stresses, is about cultivating a proactive, solution-oriented, and growth-focused mindset. One of the key principles Schwartz highlights is thinking in terms of the big picture. Leaders do not get bogged down by minor setbacks or daily frustrations. Instead, they maintain a long-term vision and stay focused on their ultimate goals. Understanding the overall strategy and direction, while not losing yourself in trivial details, allows leaders to make better decisions and remain resilient in the face of challenges. Another defining quality of leaders is taking responsibility. They do not engage in blame games when problems arise. Instead, they look for solutions and take decisive action. This sense of accountability builds trust, respect, and credibility among their teams and peers. Leadership is as much about integrity as it is about decision-making, and those who step up rather than step back naturally inspire confidence in others. Schwartz provides several practical strategies for developing a leader's mindset. Empower others. True leaders focus not only on their own success, but also on helping others grow and succeed. They invest in people, provide guidance, and create an environment where everyone feels capable of achieving excellence. Adopt innovative and creative thinking. Leaders challenge conventional wisdom, explore new possibilities, and continuously look for ways to improve. They view obstacles as opportunities to innovate rather than as barriers to progress. Maintain confidence and optimism. Even in difficult or uncertain situations, leaders remain positive, manage fear, and project confidence. This optimistic outlook not only helps them navigate challenges, but also motivates their team to remain focused and committed. Schwartz also emphasizes that leadership is a skill anyone can learn, regardless of age or experience. Even small tasks and everyday responsibilities provide opportunities to practice thinking like a leader. By adopting a solution-oriented, confident, and growth-focused mindset, ordinary individuals can gradually develop extraordinary leadership qualities. Leaders learn from failures, seize opportunities, and consistently pursue their vision with determination. The core message of this chapter is simple but powerful. Thinking like a leader is a skill that can be developed. When you cultivate a leader's mindset, your behavior, decisions, and results naturally become extraordinary. Leadership is less about position and more about perspective. Adopt that perspective, and you begin to operate at a higher level in every area of life. Conclusion: the magic of thinking big. David J. Schwartz's The Magic of Thinking Big delivers a timeless and powerful message. Success, wealth, and extraordinary achievements are not determined solely by talent, luck, or intelligence. They are shaped by your mindset, beliefs, and actions. From the very first chapter, Schwartz emphasizes the importance of self-belief and confidence, and by the end of the book, he provides a complete roadmap showing how adopting big thinking, a positive attitude, creative problem-solving, action-oriented habits, and a leadership mindset can transform an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. Each chapter offers practical strategies and real-life examples, making it clear that negative thoughts, excuses, fear, and limiting beliefs are the primary barriers to success. But Schwartz shows that these obstacles can be consciously overcome. By intentionally cultivating self-confidence, nurturing a positive attitude, and surrounding yourself with the right environment, you can unlock your full potential and become unstoppable. Your mindset, self-image, attitudes, and interpersonal relationships form the true foundation of success. Setting meaningful goals, learning from failures, and developing the habit of consistent action are crucial tools that accelerate both personal growth and tangible achievements. The overarching lesson of the book is simple yet transformative. Think big, believe in yourself, take decisive action, and strive to make yourself extraordinary. Those who remain trapped in small thinking, self-doubt, and excuses are likely to achieve only average results. But those who dare to dream bigger, act boldly, and relentlessly pursue their vision create real, lasting success. Ultimately, the magic of thinking big is more than just a motivational guide. It is a practical manual for life. It equips readers with the mindset, habits, and strategies to elevate their thinking, expand their potential, and achieve results far beyond what they once imagined possible. By internalizing its lessons, anyone can take their life to a higher level, turning ordinary circumstances into extraordinary outcomes.